Talk about 750 brute force a little bit. You know, if you're looking for a power gain, got the HMF full system. You know, not known for very much horsepower, but there's a lot of guys that have them. I've had the Carburetor 05, I've had the 2008, and I've got the 2016. So I've had, you know, every model that they've made. You know, if you know anything about them, just as far as just the changes they've made on them. And this one, you know, this one to my 08 stock for stock, you know, is about a bike and a half in front of it, you know, if you're driving down the street. So you know, if you're looking to, you know, put an exhaust on just to add horsepower, you're not going to do it with an HMF. You're just not going to with the 2015 model up, basically because of the EFI loop system. You know, from 2012, 2014, you can still put an MSD on it and just go. With this bike, you can't. You've actually, you know, if you want to feel a big difference, you know, for this bike, well, just an HMF, you have got to get a custom tune. I talked to V-Force John, and I got the Dynetek Fusion from him, and he already had a little bit of mapping done for it. But I went and I got my truck tuned about 2 years ago, and while I was there, the guy that I was getting it tuned from had some Kawasaki's there, but he used to race, and he tuned Kawasaki's, one of the few that he could tune. So I took mine back to him and tuned it at Powerhouse Performance in Griffin, North Carolina. If you're around that area, go and see that guy. He makes a big difference. So put it on the dyno, you know, rear wheel horsepower, and these are, I mean, they're the steel wheel HMF rim, so they're a little bit heavy, but you know, I was making right at 42 right in there rear wheel horsepower. So and then they started tuning it, and we tuned it with the airbox on, and it made just about a you know, 1.5 horsepower with an HMS. So it really didn't do that much of a difference. The big difference that came in me getting 5 more horsepower out of it, and something that you can really feel if you have an HMF, if you have an Empire or Trinity, do it, because it will make, I mean, if you have one of those with dual, definitely make a big difference. But we modified the airbox with these 8 small foam, just like your air filter here. And you know, I mean, I've drove in everything on this thing imaginable, and I've not got any water in it. As you can see, you put a little oil in there, but you know, you just got to be smart with it. You know, this thing right here, the snorkel and stuff, it sits lower than this thing does, than the foam pieces do. So I heard a lot of, you know, you could get water in it or whatever. If you leave it outside and it's a downpour, yes, you will. So, but I don't think anybody that takes care of their four-wheelers is just going to leave it outside. So I've been through everything. I've been through water and mud, you know, up to here, and I haven't got any water in it just because, you know, it's got the foam filters in it, and, you know, there just ain't really no way, you know, for it to get in other than you just drowning it. And if you do that, you're going to, you know, even if you didn't have those, you're going to sink the motor anyway. So, but, you know, for the biggest, I'm telling you, don't waste your money on a bunch of other stuff. If you have an HMF, you get a 3/4 system or a full, like I have, go and get it custom tuned by somebody that can do it. And that's where you'll really feel a difference. You'll be tickled to death if you just do that. So the tuner, the HMF tuner, I've had it. I've had the 3/4 system with no tuner, with a tuner, full system with a tuner, and I really didn't feel much at all. But after I talked to V-Force John and got that Fusion box, and then went and custom tuned it, then I can actually tell you, yeah, you know, for just the HMF alone, I could feel a difference. So, I mean, it don't sound much different. You know, it is a little bit, when you take off on it, I mean, obviously getting more air to the, you know, to the engine, it does sound a little bit more throaty with the full system, but, you know, that goes for anybody. I mean, if you've got snorkels, especially if you've got snorkels, you know, because that changes the fuel to air ratio so much that, I mean, if you go get it custom tuned, you know, that would be your best bet. So, you know, so if y'all have any questions, I'd love to help you, but just thought I'd make a video on my brute force, telling what I've done to it, and, you know, the best thing that I did to it as far as that goes, as well as putting a little clutch kit on it. So y'all be good and have a good day.